Rockhurst hockey fans, here we are Sunday afternoon in Springfield, Missouri. Rockhurst Hawklets are going to be taking on the Springfield Spirit here in about 5 minutes. Both teams just came out onto the ice for the warm-up. Rockhurst is in their home blue jerseys, and they will be attacking from left to right. Springfield Spirit in the black and red. I'm getting everything adjusted here while we're watching the warm-ups. Trying to make sure I got all the right angles here and everything. So, this morning, for those of you that were tuned in, Rockhurst took on the Northwest Arkansas Ice Hogs. Rockhurst lost that one 6-2. They played well. Once again, just like yesterday, Rockhurst had a lot of real bright spots in their game. They're still juggling the lines around a little bit, trying to find out what the best chemistry is. But overall, they look pretty good and had a lot of good plays.
I don't think he realized that.
Teddy Houlihan will be in net for Rockhurst this afternoon. Got about 3 minutes left in the warm-up period here. We don't have very good Wi-Fi here in Springfield. It's pretty bad, actually, so hopefully the broadcast is okay as we're just broadcasting through my cell phone. All right. Just a few seconds left here in the warm-up period. Rockhurst gathering at the bench, getting some words of wisdom from the coaching staff. All right, that buzzer concludes the end of the warm-up session. Springfield gathering at their net. Rockhurst over at their bench. We'll see who they send out here in a few minutes. As I've mentioned, Rockhurst is playing in uniforms that are several years old, so none of the numbers or names match the actual person in the uniform. Supposedly the new uniforms are supposed to be in by the end of next week, and we'll have that sorted out. So kind of fun seeing some of the old names from past teams out here. And but I assure you, half the Rockhurst team is pretty much brand new. Ref is calling everyone to center ice. There's no anthem, no formalities with starting lineups or any of that. They're just going to jump right into the game. Face-off. Rockhurst wins the face-off. Back to the defense. Defense over to the other side. They shuffle it up the sideboards. Rockhurst bringing it down. Rockhurst comes over the blue line, gets the puck taken away. Spirit is coming back. It's Springfield Spirit. Rockhurst picks it up behind the net. Gets it up the sideboards. Spirit, defenseman, stuffs it in, comes around behind the net. Looking for a centering pass. Poked away by Rockhurst. Rockhurst trying to flip it out, having trouble getting it past that blue line. Springfield Spirit comes in low, broken up by Rockhurst in front of the net. Rockhurst moves it up along the sideboards. Nice move. Rockhurst coming through, gets a shot, goes wide. Bounces around behind the net. Rockhurst still looking for another pass. Rockhurst sends it over across the boards, but nobody there. 1-0 for Springfield. Springfield coming in. Houlihan comes up with the save. Shuts down the attacker on a 1-0 there. Nice save by Houlihan to stand his ground, come out a little bit, shut that one down. Face off to the right of Houlihan. Rockhurst puts it back into the corner. Centering pass by the Spirit, broken up by Rockhurst. Spirit sends it down into the corner. Spirit shoots it around high around the net. Back down into the corner for Spirit. Rockhurst trying to break it up. Spirit comes out of the corner with it. Centering pass, broken up by Rockhurst. Rockhurst turns it up ice. Comes along the sideboards. Long shot from behind the red line. That'll be an icing. I think Rockhurst was trying to make a connection there, and they were unable to make it. And puck went all the way down to the end for an icing call. Face-off to the right of Houlihan. Spirit wins the draw. Quick shot on goal right from the slot. Houlihan had it well covered. No rebound. Smothers it, so they'll repeat that face-off again. That one was kind of a draw. Squirts out to the side. Spirit keeps it in. Rockhurst trying to move it up the sideboards. Spirit keeps it in, goes down behind the net. Rockhurst behind the net, trying to pass it up the boards. Out to the point for Spirit. Spirit circling in, looking for a shot. Intercepted by Rockhurst. Rockhurst able to move it out of the zone. Spirit has to pull back and regroup. Rockhurst trying to keep the pressure on there. Spirit sends it back across the boards. Spirit coming over the blue line. 2 guys from Rockhurst on Spirit against the boards. Spirit comes out. Houlihan. Pope checks it away. Spirit passes one through the slot. And it looks like we're going to have a trip. Possibly. No, I think it just went up into the netting. Okay, no penalties. Both teams are even strength. 12 minutes, 12 seconds into the first period. Score 0-0. It's like a pretty even balanced game so far between these 2 varsity teams. Spirit wins the draw, puts one in behind the net. Rockhurst trying to shuffle it around. Spirit shoots one out. Rockhurst breaks it up right in front of the net. Puck coming up the sideboards. Rockhurst carrying it up into the neutral zone. Rockhurst coming through, broken up by Spirit. Rockhurst fires it in. Spirit takes control of it in the corner. Rockhurst forechecking, takes the puck away, tries to slip one in from the side of the net. Rockhurst puts one in. That's the result of pressure. That's the result of some great pressure there. Rockhurst forechecking, didn't give up, even though Spirit gained control of the puck. Rockhurst kept after it. Got the puck to bounce their way and put one in. So that is at 11:37 of the first period. Score Rockhurst 1, Spirit 0. Spirit wins the draw, puts it back to defense, bounces it up along the sideboards. Rockhurst intercepts it, fires it in. We're going to dump it and chase it. Spirit trying to move it up the sideboards. Rockhurst intercepts it along the side. Spirit comes away with it, brings it back behind their own net, looking to regroup. Spirit sends it up the side. Rockhurst contains, sends it back in behind the net. Rockhurst in the corner, digging hard for it. Got 4 to 5 guys in there digging for that puck. Rockhurst comes away with it from behind the net, centering pass. Quick move, shot on goal. Shot on goal from the bottom of the circle. Good hustle by Rockhurst, digging for that puck, getting it to the front of the net. I'd like to see a lot more of that. 10:56 left in the first period. Rockhurst leads 1-0. Scoreboard is showing 3 shots on goal for Rockhurst, 1 shot for Spirit. Face-off, run by Rockhurst, quick shot on goal, hits the defender. Spirit brings it around behind. Rockhurst keeps it in at the blue line. Spirit on the boards fighting for it. Spirit flips it high up over to get it out of the zone. Rockhurst chasing. The Spirit's on him. Spirit turns it around right in front of the net. Saved by Houlihan. Stick save, clears it over the sideboards. Good hit. Shot on goal. Houlihan with the blocker save. Rockhurst having a little difficulty getting it out of the zone here. Spirit keeping it in. Spirit puts it down in the corner. Rockhurst brings a hit. Attempted shot on goal, goes behind the net, comes up around the sideboards. Rockhurst flings it out. Spirit picks it up, comes back to their own zone to regroup. Rockhurst changing lines. Spirit taking advantage of it. Comes skating up through with some speed. Rockhurst takes him into the corner. Back to the point for Spirit. Spirit, a little clear shot, deflected by the Rockhurst defender, off into the corner. Spirit dumps it down. Rockhurst just flings one down the ice. They must be looking to regroup because that's a deliberate icing there. So that puck will come back down to the Rockhurst end. Face-off is going to be to the left of Houlihan. 9:29 left in the first period. Rockhurst wins the draw. Sends it back to the corner. Spirit hustles in after him. Spirit centers it from behind the net. Spirit coming in, trying to get a shot. Spirit shoots, but hits Coleman. Deflected into the corner. Coleman back there digging. Little battle back there with Rockhurst. Rockhurst comes away with it, sends it up the sideboards. Spirit defender dumps it back in behind the net. Now here comes Rockhurst. Rockhurst trying to pass it out. Rockhurst finally picks that puck off the sideboards, gets it over. Rockhurst coming across the blue line. High shot, deflected by the goalie's blocker up into the glass. Pass in front. Rockhurst picks it up. Backhand shot. Pad save by the goaltender. Rebound just passed over the Rockhurst stick. Spirit on the attack. Rockhurst coming out through the neutral zone across the blue line. 4 guys on the Rockhurst player. Spirit launches it out. Mishandled by Rockhurst, but his teammates are coming back to help. Spirit shoots it down into the corner. Spirit looking to pass it out to the point. Rockhurst picks it up. Rockhurst through the neutral zone. Still pressing. Rockhurst still with the puck. Trying to push it into that goal area. Just can't quite get the handle on it to get a shot off. Spirit picks it up, turns it back up ice, coming over the blue line. Gets a shot on goal. Pad save by Houlihan. Kicks it in the corner. Puck's behind the net. Rockhurst trying to get it. Rockhurst picks it up. Looking for a pass. Cross-ice pass up to the neutral zone. Rockhurst looking to dump it. They're going to dump and chase. Puck goes down into the corner. Spirit picks it up. Intercepted by Rockhurst. Rockhurst dumps it again. Chasing that puck down into the far corner. Rockhurst keeping it in. Rockhurst trying to center it. Goes behind the net. Try to center again. Quick shot. Just goes wide of the goal. Nice attempt there, though. Rockhurst dug it out, put it in front of it, right in the slot. Here comes Spirit with a 3-on-1, and they are offsides. So Rockhurst gets a little relief there as Spirit had a 3-on-1 coming down the ice with some speed. And they got a little beyond their skis there and draw the offside. Face-off. Spirit wins the draw, sends it back to their defense, and they dump it down into the zone. Rockhurst tries to play it up the sideboards. Shot attempt by Spirit defenseman. Deflects off the Rockhurst defender. Rockhurst able to tip that puck out into the neutral zone. Spirit regrouping. Sends it up the sideboards. Rockhurst changing on the fly. But they break up that attack attempt. Spirit trying to break through. Spirit gets a shot on goal, but goes wide. Rockhurst trying to shoot it up the sideboards. Back to the point for Spirit. They put it in. Spirit circling. Rockhurst breaks it up, moves it out into the neutral zone, but Spirit is all over him. Spirit shoots one in from center ice on Houlihan. Houlihan's forced to cover it as a Spirit attacker was moving in. The teams are changing up their personnel here. Face off to the left of Houlihan, won by Spirit. They pull it back to defense, but Rockhurst breaks it up. Rockhurst coming down the ice. Rockhurst trying to get a shot. Deflected. Rockhurst player broke his stick trying to take the shot. Spirit up along the sideboards through the neutral zone. And a Rockhurst player is down. They had quite a collision. Quite a collision there. We got a couple of broken sticks out there, and Rockhurst player is up. Looked like a pretty good collision there. Hopefully he's okay. He skated off mostly under his own power. So that face-off will be back in the Rockhurst zone to the left of Houlihan. Teams are adjusting their lines here. Rockhurst wins the draw, but intercepted by Spirit. They try to bring it in on net. Rockhurst defends it well. Spirit trying a centering pass, broken up by Rockhurst. Rockhurst trying to get it out, taken away. Here comes Rockhurst finally getting it out of the zone. Broken up again by Spirit. Spirit sends it cross ice. Spirit dumps it down into the corner. Rockhurst picks it up behind the net, sends it out. Rockhurst taps it loose. Here comes Rockhurst. Two guys on him. They take him down, but still fighting for that puck. Still battling away and keeping that pressure on. Spirit finally comes away with it with two guys on one. Spirit coming through the neutral zone. Long shot, snagged by Houlihan. Low shot towards the corner of the goal, and Houlihan comes up with a good glove save, no rebound. So that face-off will be to the left of Houlihan. 4:17 left in the first period. Rockhurst leading 1-0. Face-off, won by Spirit. They send it back to the point. They tried to dump it in. A little wrestling along the board. Spirit sends it down behind the net. Rockhurst comes out with it. Rockhurst up the sideboards. Slap shot from the point by Spirit. Deflected by Houlihan into the corner. Another attempted shot from the point. Rockhurst blocks it, gets it out of the zone. Spirit hustles back to get it. Sends it back up the other way, but Rockhurst is right behind him, and they dump it back into the zone, back behind the net. Spirit trying to clear up the sideboards. Tap it to the middle of the ice. And we've got a 3-on-2 coming down the ice. Hard shot from the left wing. Goes wide of the goal. Puck back behind the net. Rockhurst trying to get it. Rockhurst puts it around, but Spirit picks it up, tries to center it, goes through everybody over to the other side. Rockhurst coming up the sideboard. Spirit stops him. Spirit trying to come across. Rockhurst poke checks it away back into the neutral zone. Spirit defense trying to pass it forward. Rockhurst intercepts. Rockhurst coming over. Tries to dump it into the zone, picked up quickly by Spirit. Rockhurst still battling for it, dumps it down in behind the net. Spirit coming up the sideboards, passes it out to Rockhurst. Rockhurst dumps it down, a little back and forth right now. Back to Rockhurst again. Rockhurst looking for that pass, they connect. Rockhurst brings it into the corner. Doesn't get a shot, but good attack. Spirit coming through the zone. Gets poked away. Spirit looking for that pass play. They send it all the way down the ice. It looks like that's going to be waved off. Rockhurst sends it up the sideboards. Gets it out of the zone. It's a rolling puck. Spirit will pick it up and bring it behind their own net. Spirit coming out with some speed out of their own zone. Several players attacking. Spirit trying to bring it around. And Spirit scores. Spirit brought it across the front of the net and was able to slip it, I believe, right under Teddy Houlihan's pad. Pretty strong play by the goal scorer for the Spirit. Came in strong, fended off Rockhurst, and got around and got the puck in. Face off, won by Rockhurst. Back to the defense. Defense passes it to center ice. Rockhurst coming through over the blue line. Rockhurst trying to meet him behind the net. Spirit picks up the puck, shoots it down, trying to pass it. Goes all the way down to the end. Rockhurst there to hit him. Rockhurst picking up the puck, and not sure what we have there. It's going to be a face-off in the corner, so I don't know quite what happened. Doesn't look like there's any penalties. One minute, 23 seconds left in the first period. Rockhurst Hawklets 1, Springfield Spirit 1. Tie game, pretty even match to this point. Rockhurst wins the face-off, draws back to Houlihan, who will just quickly jump on it as Spirit was chasing after that one. Another face-off to the left of Houlihan. Rockhurst wins the draw again, but Spirit's on him. Spirit comes out of the corner with it, puts it on goal. Houlihan was right there in position. Knew where that shot was going to be coming from. He was right there, shutting down that side of the net and shutting down the rebound. Regrouping again here for another face-off to the right of Houlihan. 1 minute, 14 seconds left in the period. The referee offering some instructions. Face-off. Spirit wins it, gets it back to the point, but they miss the pass and comes out of the zone. Rockhurst pressuring them, not letting them get away with that one. Spirit takes it in behind the net. Rockhurst keeping the pressure on, but Spirit brings it out along the sideboards. Up to Coleman. Coleman flips it out, back to Coleman. Coleman gets it out of the zone. Rockhurst had a golden chance there, and he just didn't connect on the pass, breaking out. But they're able to dump it, and the Spirit delivers quite a hit from Rockhurst. So we had some extracurricular activity there. Rockhurst apparently drew a penalty. Spirit has 6 attackers now, and no goalie in the net. Spirit comes across the blue line. And Rockhurst was able to get a stick on the puck and get the penalty called. So Rockhurst in that little scrum, I think Riley got a little upset with how he was treated there and gave something back and ended up drawing a penalty. So 19.3 seconds left in the first period. Tie score 1-1. Rockhurst with a 2-minute penalty. And the Spirit will have 5 attackers. Rockhurst will be shorthanded with only 4 attackers, 4 skaters. Face off to the left of Houlihan. Spirit wins it, draws it back. Broken up by Rockhurst. Rockhurst sends it out of the zone, but Spirit keeps it in, shot from the middle of the blue line. And the Spirit turns their power play opportunity into a goal, 7.9 seconds. So that only took about 10 seconds or so for the Spirit to capitalize on that opportunity, put one in. They were able to move the puck around to right in the middle of the blue line, bring it in with a hard shot that got past Houlihan. Face off, won by Rockhurst. Rockhurst comes back, trying to keep it out. And that will do it for the first period of play here in Springfield, Missouri, with the Rockhurst Hawklets scoring 1 goal. Springfield Spirit scoring 2 goals, one of them on a power play. The Spirit is leading in shots on goal. The Spirit has 10 shots on goal. Rockhurst has 5. Both teams have had plenty of quality opportunities. The Spirit with the edge in both shots on goal and actual goals scored. So the first intermission here between the first and second period is ending. The referee has called everybody back onto the ice. Both teams are at full strength. Since the Spirit scored a power play goal, that got Riley to even out of the box, and we are back at even strength. Houlihan in goal, Rockhurst in the blue uniforms attacking from right to left, Spirit in the black uniforms attacking from left to right on your screen. Face off, won by Spirit, draws it back to the defense, but Rockhurst pressuring. Spirit having trouble getting that turned up ice. Spirit tries to dump it, Rockhurst still there, keeping it in. Spirit bounces one off the boards, finds a man coming through the slot. He misfires. Shoots one on goal. Deflected by Houlihan. Rockhurst picked it up, brought it over the corner. They're down in the corner now. Somebody's down for Rockhurst. Someone's slow to get up over there. Spirit comes around behind the net looking for a centering pass. They don't connect, and the puck goes clear out of the zone and down the ice. So that was a pretty big whiff there for the Spirit. They had a man right in front of the net. Spirit coming back through over the blue line, 3-on-3. Spirit takes it into the corner, broken up by Rockhurst, saved by Houlihan. Rockhurst trying to get a slap shot from the point, picked up by Houlihan with a glove save. .13:44. Looks like the clock is still running. There they go. They finally got it stopped. That's why I don't do scorekeeping. I get too caught up in the game to remember to control that. Face off to the left of Houlihan. Puck squirts out to the Spirit. They take a quick shot from the top of the circle. Houlihan was dialed in on it all the way. Makes the save with the stick and covers it right away. No rebound. Face off will be to the right of Houlihan. Face off, won by Rockhurst. Rockhurst bringing it out of the zone. Poke checked away by Spirit. Spirit takes control of it. They're back in their own zone, trying to regroup, figure out how they're going to take it down the ice. Rockhurst pressuring, but Spirit comes out with it. Spirit through the neutral zone with a lot of speed. Spirit making a maneuver into the slot. Hard shot saved by Houlihan. Spirit coming around again, looking for that quick opportunity. Another shot deflected through traffic, back behind the net. Spirit back at the point. Rockhurst taps one out through the neutral zone. It's just going to dribble down the ice towards the goaltender. No icing. Spirit picks it up. Rockhurst changing personnel on the fly. Spirit sends it down. I believe that was an icing. They were not quite over the red line when they went to dump that puck, and that turned into an icing. I think Spirit was just trying to dump it down there and didn't quite get it right. 12:48 left in the second period. Springfield Spirit 2, Rockhurst Hawkwitz 1. Face off to the Spirit, to the right of the Spirit goaltender.
He goes, oh, hot top. I know, it's all right.
Face off, won by Rockhurst, back to the point. Rockhurst trying to pass it in, down low, goes into the corner. Rockhurst picks it up in the corner, out to the slot, quick shot, pad save by the goaltender. Puck bouncing around, everybody poking at it. And I think the goalie eventually got a mid on it. But there was that puck was sliding around. The goalie did not have control of it. The Rockhurst was in there really poking hard. And their refs are having a little discussion there. Looks like everybody's playing with a level head so far.
I'm cold.
Face-off to right of the goaltender. Spirit wins the face-off, pulls it back into their corner. Rockhurst pressuring. Spirit looking for the breakout pass. They get it. Spirit coming down the ice, 1-on-0. Blocker saved by Houlihan. That was a quick shot by Spirit, and a blocker saved by Houlihan deflects it off into the corner. Spirit, though, picks it up. They're coming around behind the net. Rockhurst on him, trying to stick with him. Shoots one from the sideboards. Goes all the way through the other side. Here comes Rockhurst. They finally got control of the puck. Poked away by the Spirit. Rockhurst coming out again. Here they come through the zone. Spirit takes over. Sends it up through the neutral zone. Rockhurst delivers a hit. Rockhurst defenseman down. Spirit takes a shot. And that ends up in the glove of Teddy Houlihan as he watched that one come in all the way. Face off to the left of Houlihan. 11:38 left in the second period. Spirit 2, Hawklets 1. Rockhurst wins the draw back into the corner. Spirit comes in hard. Spirit comes away with the puck from the sideboards, but loses it. Trying to center, big centering pass. What a save by Houlihan. Point blank range. And Houlihan followed that pass from behind the net, went out and met the attacker, and put on one hell of a save. Rockhurst brings it all the way down the ice, but Spirit poke checks it away, and they immediately turn it back the other way, coming down the ice. Spirit with a nice move. They shoot wide. Rockhurst sending it up the sideboards. Rockhurst coming through the neutral zone. 1-on-2. Spirit tries to take it away. Rockhurst still battling for it in the corner. Rockhurst comes away from it. They send it into the goal, and the goaltender saves it. Gives a rebound. Rockhurst was right there, but just not quite quick enough before the goalie could smother it. But that was a good rebound opportunity. You just got to keep throwing it at the goal sometimes. That puck will bounce your way. So good hustle by Rockhurst there to follow up on that shot. Rockhurst wins the draw, but Spirit takes it away. Rockhurst hustling back into their own zone to pick up the puck. Spirit blocks it. They keep it in the zone. Rockhurst coming around the corner, coming up the sideboards. Spirit takes it away before they can get it out of the zone. Spirit picks up the puck. Rockhurst battling for it. Rockhurst gets it out of the zone, but Spirit's there to pick it up again. They're circling, send it up the sideboards, and they're trying to dump it, but Rockhurst block it at the blue line, so to prevent any kind of attack from Spirit. Rockhurst bringing it down in along the sideboards. Spirit takes it away, comes around behind the net. Spirit bringing it out, gets it up into the neutral zone. Spirit pokes it into the zone, but Rockhurst is back there to pick it up. Rockhurst passes it around up the boards. Rockhurst trying to come out of the zone. Rockhurst shoots it down, but Spirit picks it up. Then the ref just intercepted the puck from the Spirit player. That helped Rockhurst a little. Spirit, center ice, comes in over the blue line. Spirit coming around behind the net, looking for that centering pass. Spirit comes around trying to stuff it in the side. Houlihan is there. Spirit picks it up right in the slot and fires it about 4 feet high. Rockhurst picking the puck up along the sideboards, can't get it out. Spirit dumps it back in on net, goes behind the net. Rockhurst coming out, once again trying to get the sideboards there. Spirit all over him. Spirit's really forechecking. and really preventing Rockhurst from getting anything going coming out of their zone. Both teams are at full strength. Okay, Rockhurst picks it up in the neutral zone, coming down through. Once again, there's 3 guys from Spirit on our one guy, and he had nobody to pass to. Here comes Spirit turning around again. Rockhurst, great job, Pope checking that away and breaking up the formation of that attack, but Spirit just keeps on coming. So they've got 3 on 2, coming through the slot, shoots wide. Rockhurst trying to pass it up through the neutral zone. They don't connect, and Spirit picks it up. Spirit trying to fire that long pass. They don't connect either. Rockhurst picks up that loose puck. Rockhurst dumps it down into the corner and chases. Little scrum in the corner. Trying to post. Somebody's got to do something. It looks it's definitely a scrum there. Finally gets broken loose and squirts out to a Spirit player. Now we got a 2-on-1 coming down the ice from the Spirit. Shot and a blocker save by Houlihan. Great save. That was a high, hard shot right to the upper corner of the net. And Houlihan put a great blocker save on it. Rockhurst fires an SOS icing call down to the other end of the rink. They were not quite connecting there and needed to regroup. 7:18 left in the second period. Spirit leading 2-1 over Rockhurst. Face off to the right of Houlihan. Backhand shot by the Spirit right from the slot. Bounces out through traffic. Up along the sideboards. Rockhurst trying to pick it up. Rockhurst gets it out of the zone. Spirit back to get it. Rockhurst pressuring. Spirit tried to pass it up. Rockhurst dumps it down in behind the net. And apparently that was offsides. It was delayed offsides, and Rockhurst didn't get back soon enough to wave off the offside call. So that'll come back over for an offside face-off. Draw, scrum. Rockhurst finally picking up the puck. Moves it down into the zone. Spirit coming behind the net, trying to move it up the boards. Spirit pokes it past Rockhurst. Rockhurst stands the ground at the blue line, puts it back in. Rockhurst coming in with a shot, wide. Rockhurst with a good opportunity there. Shot it wide. Spirit picks it up behind the net. Rockhurst badgering him. Rockhurst pokes it away. Spirit decides to go the other way behind the net. Spirit moving it through the neutral zone. And a big hit by Rockhurst. That's going to draw a penalty. And then Spirit with another hit. I think there might be 2 penalties coming. Not sure. One for sure on Rockhurst. There's an interference call on Rockhurst. As the Rockhurst player really wasn't concerned with where the puck was, but he sure knew where the Spirit player was and put a hit on him right there in the middle of the neutral zone. So with 5:57 left in the second period, Rockhurst will be short 1 man. So we've got Rockhurst with 4 skaters, Spirit with 5 skaters. Face off to the right of Houlihan. Rockhurst wins the draw and fires it out of the zone. Rockhurst chasing, putting some pressure on the Spirit, going to make them do something. Rockhurst keeping him in the corner. Spirit finally coming out, looking for that pass play. Here comes Spirit, defenseman, carrying it all the way down the ice. Rockhurst back to take him into the corner. Spirit puts it back to the point. Spirit looking for a shot. Long, hard shot. Hits traffic. And hits the goalie. So Houlihan ends up with it in his glove. He was able to trace that one through the traffic there and put a stop to that, which was a great play on Houlihan's part. Face off to the right of Houlihan. 5:31 left, with a minute 34 left in the penalty. Rockhurst wins the face-off and gets the puck out of the zone all the way down the ice. Goaltender taps it over for his defenseman to bring it around. Long pass up the sideboards for Spirit. Spirit steps over the blue line. Coleman chasing into the corner. Coleman comes away with the puck. Coleman flings one out of the zone all the way down the ice. Good play to break up that attack and kill some more time. Move that thing down the ice. Spirit behind their net, trying to figure out what the play is. They move it up along the sideboard. Spirit coming through. Spirit trying to put a move on. Coleman drives him into the corner. Spirit still with the puck. Coleman keeping after him, badgering him. No play there. Way to go. And not sure what happened there. I couldn't see. Looks like we got a man down. I think, we got a piece of glass falling out. So as the players were going into the sideboards, they hit the plexiglass and it popped out. So that's a little stoppage of play there while we have some people trying to figure out how to put that thing in place. Looks like somebody needs some duct tape or something. So they're working on it. So both teams get a little timeout here while the repairs are being made. Can't quite see it from this angle. They've got these clips along each piece of plexiglass that are just little plastic clips holding each piece of plexiglass together. And it looks like it just popped out of there and the netting popped off. And one of the fans who's mechanically inclined was able to make the repair. So as long as it meets with the officials' satisfaction, we should be back in business here shortly. Okay, the officials declaring victory over the plexiglass. So there will be a face-off to the left of Houlihan. Now the officials having trouble shutting the door. Okay, I think you finally got it. These are some pretty flimsy plexiglass panels that we have in here. So face off to the left of Houlihan, 4:36 left in the second period. Rockhurst wins the draw, puts it back around behind. 30 seconds left in the Rockhurst penalty. They fling it all the way down the ice, trying to kill some more time. Spirit gathering behind the net. They try to pass it up. Rockhurst trying to break up that play. Here comes Spirit with a 3-on-2. Passes it over right into the slot. Broken up by Rockhurst. Good defense by Rockhurst. Rockhurst flings it back down to the ice again with just 6 seconds left in the penalty. So that'll effectively kill the penalty. Rockhurst should be at full strength here. And they are. Rockhurst picks up the puck, circles around, flings another one out to the neutral zone, while Rockhurst is trying to get their regular lines back in order here. Spirit up along the sideboards, brings it into the zone. Shot goes behind the net, bounces all the way out to the blue line, but the Spirit keep it in. Go back and forth along the side. Squirts out and dribbles it down towards the goal, and Houlihan decides to squelch that one. 3:24 left in the second period. Spirit leading 2-1. Both teams at full strength. Face-off is going to be the right of Houlihan. Right now the scoreboard shows Spirit with 20 shots on goal. Rockhurst with only 8 shots on goal. So Rockhurst taking the face off, draws it back into the corner, but Spirit comes in attacking. Rockhurst trying to send it up, held in at the blue line by the Spirit. Rockhurst chases it behind the net. Spirit comes out of the corner with it, trying to weave through traffic, gets a backhand shot, deflected by Houlihan back into the corner. Puck just squeaks out over the blue line. Spirit needs to regroup and come back, but they're coming through with some speed this time. And they fire a hard shot, blocked by Houlihan, deflected over the sideboard. And here comes Rockhurst on the attack. 2-on-3, basically. Spirit takes it away from Rockhurst. Rockhurst trying to get out of their own way here. Kept in at the blue line. Up, that's okay. Rockhurst dumps it in. They're changing up. Tag up and change up. And Spirit trying to take advantage of that change up because they're coming through while Rockhurst was. We had all kinds of action there. Spirit came through while Rockhurst was changing on the fly, and they saw it and they took advantage of it, brought it right down, took a good hard shot on Houlihan. He was able to save it, and the Spirit players were in all over him, and he scrambled around and was able to pick it up, keep that puck out of the goal till his rescue unit got down there. So that will be.
I got them all.
That will be a face-off to the left of Houlihan. 2 minutes, 9 seconds left in the second period. Face-off, pulled back by Spirit, comes all the way out of the zone. Spirit regrouping behind their own net, coming out of the corner. Rockhurst chasing. Spirit brings it in. Big hit by Rockhurst, lays one on in the corner. But I think they're going to call that an interference or something, maybe a boarding. Either way, it was a good hit with a nice resounding boom when the Rockhurst player took him into the corner. But unfortunately, we're paying the price for that one now. So 1:47 left in the second period, and Rockhurst draws a penalty. Officials explaining what to the coaches for Rockhurst what he saw. It looked like a pretty good hit, but it was a loud one. And I thought it was just a good hard hockey play myself, but I think they're trying to keep things in check here. Rockhurst there's 1:47 left in the period. Rockhurst has a 2-minute penalty, so we'll be shorthanded for the remainder of this, plus 13 seconds of the next one. So Rockhurst needing to kill this penalty. Spirit leads by a score to 2-1. Spirit wins the face-off, draws it down, but Rockhurst takes it away. Spirit back to the blue line. Shot from the point, hits traffic, goes wide of the net. Rockhurst trying to clear it, can only get it to the point. Back over to the other point for Spirit. Spirit makes a nice move, trying to weave through traffic. Doesn't get the shot on goal. Spirit behind the net, trying to push one out, trying to do the wraparound. Houlihan there to stop it with the pad. Spirit shovels it back down in behind the net, over to the other corner. And they drew a whistle. Oh, the net is off its footing, so they need to readjust the net. They called the stoppage of play so they could get that net set again. The nets here are not anchored very well. I realize it's a safety issue. You know, they don't want somebody slamming into a net that doesn't move, but they might be a little bit light on their anchoring system here.
Your girlfriend's watching you.
Face-off's going to be left to Houlihan. Spirit wins the face-off, draws it back to the defense. Defense looking for a shot. Long shot in, tip shot, and that was a great save by Houlihan as shot from the point was redirected right in front of Houlihan, but he was in a good position to be able to make that save either way, whether it was a shot or a deflection. He was in the right position. That's a tough shot to stop. Spirit comes away from the face-off with the puck. Spirit looking for another shot from the point. They take it into the corner instead, pass it out to the point, and they don't connect. They miss on that pass, and that comes out of the zone. 40 seconds left in the period. Spirit keeps it in the zone, looking to pass, looking to set up a play here. Spirit bringing it in. We looked like we got a trip, but the Spirit was holding on to our stick. And what do they call? There's a Rockhurst player down. Not sure what happened. Okay, Rockhurst player is up. He's skating off the ice. I think he just got a little shook up. I didn't catch what happened there, as it was behind the play at that point. .22 seconds left. Oh, Spirit did draw a penalty. I didn't catch the signal on that one as to what it was. I'm sure it had something to do with that Rockhurst player getting up slowly. Spirit wins the draw. They're hustling out, coming through the zone. Spirit misses on a prime opportunity. They were hustling down. We have 4-on-4 hockey here, which is always exciting. Rockhurst trying to get one last shot in before. Oh, and Rockhurst was just, I don't think they realized how short they were on time. He should have fired that one before the buzzer went. But here we are at the end of 2 periods. Score is Springfield Spirit 2, Rockhurst Hawklets 1. Shots on goal, 25 shots on goal so far for Spirit, 9 shots on goal for Rockhurst. When the third period starts, Rockhurst will have 12 seconds left on their penalty. Spirit will have 1:37 left on their penalty. So Rockhurst, barring any other penalties or goals, will have a advantage for 1:22 seconds, 1:25 seconds. So we'll start the third period with 4-on-4. Once we get 12 seconds in, Rockhurst will be at full strength. 15-minute period, pretty evenly matched game. 4-on-4 hockey can get very exciting. Rockhurst wins the draw. Rockhurst pushing it through. Rockhurst dumps it down into the end. So if they can kill a little time here, they'll be full strength here in just a few seconds. Rockhurst keeping it down in the Spirit zone. Rockhurst putting pressure on, does the wraparound, tries to get it in. Rebound, big scrum in front of the net. Goalie finally gets it covered. Net comes off the footing once again as players were bouncing all over. A lot of action right there in front of the net. Rockhurst is now full strength for 1:14 seconds left in the Spirit penalty. 14:36 left in the third period. Springfield Spirit 2, Rockhurst Hawklets 1 in this varsity matchup. Rockhurst wins the face-off, comes back to the point, over to the other point. Rockhurst looking for a long shot through traffic, blocked in traffic. Spirit clears it out. Rockhurst back to get it. Rockhurst sends it around. Rockhurst picks up a pass in the middle of the ice. Rockhurst coming down the sideboards. Long shot from the tough angle. Goalie saw it coming. All right, we got a little extra activity here. That needs to stop. I don't know if the ref is going to issue any penalties, but needs to have control of that. The Springfield team is clearly protective of their goaltender, and they're taking chip shots at anybody standing near them, which is always understandable coming from the viewpoint of a former goalie, myself. But I think the refs need to make sure that they're keeping control of that kind of activity. 42 seconds left in the Rockhurst power play. Rockhurst wins it. Rockhurst passes it over to the other point. Long shot from the point. Hits traffic and stopped. Spirit sends it around behind the net. Rockhurst chasing. Rockhurst sends it back around behind the net again, trying to get to the other point. They're unable to. Rockhurst, hard hit on the Spirit. Puck bounces into the middle of the net. Rockhurst trying to get control of it. Spirit breaking it up. Rockhurst keeping that puck in the zone. The Spirit finally clears the puck. Only 7 seconds left, so that'll effectively kill the penalty. And Spirit will be at full strength here in just a couple seconds. Spirit's now at full strength. Rockhurst coming in. Long shot. Blocked by the defenseman right in front of the goaltender. Spirit trying to clear the puck. Rockhurst does a good job breaking it up. Good move by Rockhurst trying to get it back in there. Rockhurst sends it behind the goal. Spirit picks it up. Spirit coming out of the zone. Spirit coming through the neutral zone. Fires one in long, goes in behind the net. Rockhurst trying to pass it out. Rockhurst does not connect, and the puck goes all the way down into the Spirit zone, but it's not icing. Rockhurst giving chase. Spirit coming through. Spirit puts a move on, brings it in. Wide shot, comes all the way around and out of the zone and down the ice. So Spirit has to chase it all the way back to their own end. Spirit going around behind the net. Puts one up along the sideboards. Rockhurst tries to make a stand, but Spirit comes away with it. Spirit coming over the blue line. Rockhurst with a good defensive stand there. Rockhurst with a hit right in the middle of the ice. No penalty. Spirit sends it down into the Rockhurst end. Rockhurst picks it up behind the net, looking to make a play. Spirit intercepts it, sends it around behind the net again. Spirit with a long bouncing shot, deflected off a player or two and hit Houlihan. I don't think he saw it, but he was in the right position. Rockhurst picks it up behind the net, trying to go up the sideboards. Spirit defenseman comes in, takes the puck, shot, point blank range. Stopped by Houlihan. Rockhurst sends it all the way down the ice, and we're going to have an icing. .11:16 left in the third period, with the Spirit clinging to a 2-1 lead over Rockhurst. Rockhurst playing hard. They're definitely putting an emphasis on hitting, I can tell you that. Spirit back to the blue line, sends it all the way around the end. Spirit back to the point, looking for a shot, brings it in, gets a shot. So the Springfield Spirit scored one. That makes it 3-1. Springfield picked it up at their point. No Rockhurst players were on him. He brought it in to about the top of the circle, a little bit inside of that, and had a good shot at the goal. Looked like kind of went through a little bit of a screen to get past Houlihan, but it was a very strong wrist shot to the upper part of the net. Spirit wins the face-off. Rockhurst hustles to break up the pass back to the defense. Defense brings it all the way back into their own end, trying to bring it up the sideboards. Rockhurst lays on a hit. But Spirit still comes away with it. They come away hard. And Spirit scores again just like that. It's 10:43 left in the third period, so that only took a few seconds for the Spirit to put another one up on the board. It's 4-1 in favor of Springfield Spirit over Rockhurst. So the puck will come back to center ice. Rockhurst wins the draw, but Spirit hustles to get it. Rockhurst turns it back around, brings it up through the neutral zone. Rockhurst bringing it in. Spirit breaks up the play along the sideboards. Spirit coming out of the zone with some speed. Spirit loses the puck but regains it somehow. Gets off a quick shot. Beautiful save by Houlihan. Wide open net. Houlihan extended out with his stick hand to block that one and direct it to the corner. That was some great goalie work there by Houlihan. And what do we have? We've got a penalty. Looks like it's on the Spirit. So Rockhurst will have a one-man advantage here, I believe. We're at 10:05 remaining in the third period. Spirit with a 2-minute penalty. Rockhurst will have 5 skaters. Spirit will only have 4. So Rockhurst goes on the power play here to opportune time to try to get back some of those points. Rockhurst wins the draw over Spirit, intercepts it. Spirit coming down the ice. Rockhurst breaks up the play. Spirit fans want a penalty, but I think it was actually a pretty good play by Rockhurst on defense. Rockhurst dumps it in to chase it. Spirit gets back there, tries to send it up the sideboards, which they do. Spirit coming down the ice, broken up by Rockhurst. Rockhurst looking to pass it. Rockhurst picks it up at the blue line. Rockhurst puts it into the end. Puck back behind the net. Comes out into the corner. Riley Teven over there just basically tying everybody up. Finally gets it to his point. Long shot in. Batted down by the goaltender, and then he falls on the puck. So some pretty good pressure there by Rockhurst, actually. One minute, 3 seconds left in the power play for Rockhurst. Face-off down in the Spirit zone. 9 minutes, 8 seconds left in the game. Face-off won by the Spirit. They fly it out of the zone all the way down the ice, right on goal. Rockhurst picks it up. Oh my goodness. So Spirit shot that one all the way down the ice, right on goal, comes to Houlihan. Houlihan pushed it out for his player, and his own player knocked it into his own goal. Most unfortunate. That will be counted as a shorthanded goal for the Spirit. So it's still power play for Rockhurst. Spirit wins the face-off. Rockhurst shoots it down in behind the goal. Spirit chasing it. Rockhurst trying to fire it out. Spirit bounces up along the sideboards. Rockhurst picks it up. Rockhurst moving through the neutral zone with some speed. Rockhurst coming across the blue line, looking for a pass, looking for a play. Shot high, just over the net. Another shot towards goal, blocked by the defender. Rockhurst trying to put it into the center of the ice. Spirit able to get it out of the zone. Only 10 seconds left in the power play. Spirit picking it up behind the goal. They try to fling it out. Rockhurst keeps it in the zone. Teams are at even strength now. Spirit breaking it out. Another hit by Rockhurst. Rockhurst brings it behind the net. Coming up the sideboards. Spirit takes it away in the neutral zone. They circle around, trying to get by Rockhurst. They do. Moving in for a shot. Hard shot. Saved by Houlihan. And he falls on it. So Spirit able to get some really good shots off. They do have a couple guys on their team that really know how to make a move or two and put some real speed on their shots. So ref is calling everybody over, trying to get them to set up. I'm not sure what's going on here, but I think Spirit's a little, some kind of miscommunication. They're a player short. They finally get their full line out there. 7 minutes, 36 seconds left. The ref then tells the center he has to move out. Rockhurst in behind the goal, passes it out. Rockhurst is trying to pass that up around the boards and whiffed on it. And it came right onto the stick of one of the Spirit players who was standing right there in front of the goal. Nothing Houlihan could do about that one. But they were standing right there. So that's 7 minutes, 28 seconds left in the third period with Springfield Spirit with a 6-1 lead. Rockhurst wins the face-off. Rockhurst bringing it down into the corner. Spirit laying a check on. Rockhurst keeping it in at the blue line. Once again to Rockhurst, trying to keep it in. Spirit takes it away, and they're coming through the neutral zone, looking for another shot here. They put on the brakes, pull it back, and try to pass it back, but it goes all the way out of the zone. Spirit, long pass up to the blue line. Spirit coming through again. Rockhurst missing the puck, and the Spirit picks it up. Rockhurst finally gets it out of the zone. Spirit across ice. Rockhurst breaking it up. Spirit trying to pass it. Rockhurst gets one through the neutral zone. Spirit regrouping in their own end. Spirit with the shot. Blocker saved by Houlihan. And drops it to the ice and covers it. So because the lead is 6-1 in favor of the Spirit, the clock is running time with 6 minutes left. Both teams full strength. Spirit's taking their time here, knowing that they got the clock on their side at this point. Spirit back to the point. Long shot deflected up into the netting. Face off to the left of Houlihan. Just over 5 minutes left to play. Back to the point for Spirit. Long shot deflected back in behind the net. Spirit picks it up. Spirit over to the other point. Spirit trying to move through, but Rockhurst takes him off the top. Rockhurst coming down the ice. Broken up by the Spirit defense. Rockhurst trying to move it over the blue line. They get it over, but he's met by 3 Spirit players who turn it around, and they come back through. Spirit looking for a shot, just goes wide, looking for that low corner. Rockhurst moving it up the sideboards. Spirit's on him, but Rockhurst comes away with it. Long, hard shot by Rockhurst. Right into the chest of the Spirit goalie. He is able to smother that without giving a rebound away. Just over 4 minutes left in the game. Running time. Spirit 6, Rockhurst 1. Puck drops. Spirit pulls away with it. Spirit coming up out of the zone. They just dump it in and chase. Rockhurst first to get to it behind the net, trying to move it up the sideboards. They're met there by the Spirit. Rockhurst sends it through the neutral zone. Spirit picks it up, and they're coming back through with some speed. 2-on-3. Tries to get a backhand shot as he's coming across the net. Houlihan was ready for it. Blocks that one. Three minutes left in the game, running clock. Spirit 6, Rockhurst 1. Face off to the left of Houlihan. Ref's really taking his time. He finally drops the puck. Rockhurst wins the draw, comes around behind the net. Rockhurst flips it out into the neutral zone, picked up by the Spirit defenseman. They try to move it up the sideboards. Rockhurst lays a hit on the receiving end. And the Spirit were able to slip in behind the Rockhurst defense. And they come down and put one right through the 5-hole there. Teddy. I think Teddy's seen his fair share of shots here. So, for the last 2 minutes of the game, Teddy has decided he's seen enough pucks. He's faced 34 shots on goal, most of them pretty good shots. So for the last 2 minutes here, Rockhurst has put the other goalie in. Rockhurst clears the zone, moves it up along the sideboards. Spirit falls down.
Hey, I got that, Lily!
It's getting chippy here at the end. Rockhurst trying to get puck down in for hopefully one more shot. Rockhurst coming through. Good move by Rockhurst, but broken up by Spirit. Spirit takes it into the corner. 1 minute left in the game. Spirit flings one down the ice. It's a foot race. Rockhurst tussling back. Spirit takes a shot, but it goes wide as Rockhurst was on him. Rockhurst flings it out through the neutral zone. 45 seconds left. Spirit back to get it. Spirit coming through the neutral zone. Weaving way through everybody. And shoots wide. So the Spirit did a good job weaving through basically the entire Rockhurst team. And then shot it wide at the very end. Rockhurst trying to just get it out of their zone. 15 seconds left in the game. Rockhurst trying to just break it up there. Spirit holds it in, sends it back down into the zone. Spirit trying to get one more shot down there, but Rockhurst tying him up. And that will do it for this game. Final score: Springfield Spirit 7, Rockhurst 1. The scoreboard is showing 34 shots on goal for the Spirit, 14 shots on goal for Rockhurst. So it was a pretty hard-fought game and pretty close up through the first two periods. And then Spirit just really was able to turn it on and figure out how to get the puck in. The teams are lining up to shake hands here. So that does it for this weekend from Springfield, Missouri. Rockhurst heading home with 1 victory, 3 losses. But as I've said, some good bright spots. Definitely a much more physical team we're looking at this year. So that does it from Springfield. I'm going to go ahead and sign off here. Thank you all for watching. And that will do it for today.